In this video, I am going to help you get the most out of your 14-day free trial of Power Diary. If you're a therapist in private practice and you're looking to move to Power Diary as your EHR, this is the video for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim. I help therapists in private practice with their business systems and processes, getting them confident with admin and reducing tech overwhelm. So if this is the first video you're seeing of mine, I would really recommend going back to a previous video, which was all about how to prepare your therapy practice for an EHR. I'm going to link that and it's going to be in the description, but that's really going to help you before you set up your Power Diary account. Make sure you have all of the information you need in order to get the most out of your trial and set up your system correctly. When you first set up an EHR, it can be really overwhelming, especially if you don't know all of the features of the system and what it is you should be setting up, in what order, and all that kind of stuff. So if you are using Power Diary, I would really recommend booking a one-to-one training session with a customer service representative. They are super knowledgeable and they'll really help you get started with the system. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is the step-by-step process that we set up for our clients when we're doing a Power Diary setup. And I think this is really going to help you get set up, even if you just follow this video along with Power Diary, and you'll be able to find what I'm talking about and then do the setup. I do also have a workbook and checklist which is completely free and you might find super useful to get all of the information out of your head about your private practice onto paper so that you can really make the most of your 14-day free trial. So the first thing you want to do is set up all of your business information. So this is going to be literally your address, your name, if you have like a VAT number or some kind of other business identifying number. It's going to be all of your locations. They could be physical locations, but also online. It's going to be adding your business logo, and make sure you set up any additional users with the appropriate access levels, because the great thing about Power Diary is you can properly lock it down. So if you want your VA to be able to access all of the client profiles and be able to schedule appointments and invoice and things like that, but you don't want them to see the client notes, you can easily turn that off and they won't even see that as an option. So you can safely add your client notes to their appointments and your VA will not see that. The next thing you want to do is upload your client data. Now the best way to do this is to add all of your client data onto a spreadsheet. You upload it into the system and it will take Power Diary a couple of days, but they will create all of the client profiles for you. Now there may be some additional things that you need to add on, such as contacts, and you may want to upload any previous paperwork they have completed and things like that. But the actual initial setup of all the client data, Power Diary will do that for you. So as long as you have all the information in some kind of spreadsheet, they will be able to do that for you. But you want to do that pretty early on so that you can make the most of your 14-day free trial, and they can do their bit in the background, and then you can spend some time later on making sure that everything is accurate with that client data. The next thing you want to do is set up your calendar. So you can personalize Power Diary in the way you want to see it. So you can set up your calendar to show your own working hours. You can set up the time slots as well. So whether you see them in 30-minute increments or 60 minutes or 15 minutes, however you would like that to be shown, you can decide all of that. You want to set your working availability. So maybe you work different hours on different days and maybe you don't work at all on certain days. You want to make sure all that's set up correctly, especially if you are going to enable the client portal, which means that clients can book in with you. You want to make sure that your working hours are correct so that people don't try and book in with you when you're not working. You want to add in any holiday that you are aware of so you can override the system. And again, when clients want to try and book in with you, they can see that you're not available during Christmas or whenever it is that you've got some holiday. And finally, if you are a group practice, you can create multiple calendars. So you can have one for each user, and then they can eventually set it up themselves so that they can put their own working hours in, or you can do it for them and add in their own holiday. So every single person can have their own individual calendar with their own working availability and own holiday. Okay, sorry if I've moved. There was a wasp that was here and it's gone. We're all good. Okay, so the next thing is the custom list. The great thing about Power Diary is everything that has a drop down is customizable within Power Diary. So you can set client statuses and you can create them. So you can have active, waiting list, past, whatever. You can also have different types of clients. So you can have adult individual, you can have couples. You can also add all of your referrers. So whether that's a Google search, your website, Psychology Today, directory listing, referral, whatever it is, you can create all of these custom lists, and there is a whole section for this. So you can create all of the drop downs that you require for your practice. The next thing you want to create are all of your session types. So you might have an online session type, you might have a face-to-face session type, you may have a typical 50-minute sessions, you might have a half session, a double session, you might have a discovery call, you might have couple sessions, you might have group sessions. So all of the different session types you have, you want to create your session types, and you also want to make sure that you've got the right fee attached to them and how long they are and things like that, so that you can attach them to the client profile, which is really going to reduce your admin when it comes to booking the sessions for your clients. You can also set up session packs. So this is, for example, if you have people on medical insurance, so maybe you have a client who's on Bupa and they have 10 pre-authorized sessions, you can set up a session pack that has 10 sessions, and then the system will count them down and easily show you what session they're on. So for example, when you book that client in, it will say they're on session 8 of 10, and then maybe you let your client know, we're going to need to speak to your insurer to get more sessions authorized. So it's going to be really clear to you when they're running out of their authorized sessions. Another way you can use this is if you want your clients to pay for sessions up front. So maybe you like your clients to pay for 6 sessions at a time. You can set up a session pack for this where on their first appointment booking, they pay for all 6, then the next 5 are free of charge. And when they come to book their 7th session, it will start a new session pack for them so that they pay for the next block of 6. So there's different ways that you can use session packs, but they are super useful. The next thing you want to do is create your invoice template. So you want to design how the template looks. So you want to put information on there, whether it's BACS information, your bank details, whether it's your logo, whether you have your company information, and all of the different ways that that can lay out. So there's not like a ton that you can do with the invoice template because it is basically created from the system, but you can personalize it with your own, practice information, logo, and bank information. So you want to set that up. So when it comes to sending invoices to clients, they are going to see a professional looking invoice with all your details on it. The next thing you want to set up are your session note templates. Now with Power Diary, you can set up multiple types of templates for your session notes. So you can just have a standard rectangle box where you just add in your notes for the session, but you can also add in things such as checkboxes or drop downs or scales if you do things like that with your clients, where maybe you ask them questions or you do a 6-week evaluation or you're measuring something. So for example, if you're doing EMDR with your clients and you're measuring their scores, you can actually create a drop down or a scale so that you can track how their scores are progressing. Next, you want to create all of the forms for your private practice. So your therapy agreement, the intake form, release of information, healthcare forms, any kind of forms and paperwork you have for your practice, you want to create those in Power Diary, and then you can send them to your clients via Power Diary, which is going to save you a lot of time and money if you're using another kind of e-signature platform. You can get e-signatures on all of your forms, and once they are completed, you are notified that it has been completed, and you can also allocate other people to be notified. So for example, you can also add on your PA so that they will be notified once paperwork is completed, and they can then go in and check all of the paperwork and make sure it all looks okay. It will also automatically get added to the client profile as well. So when you look in their profile and you look at the forms, it will show you all of the forms that they have completed and all of the information that they have filled in. Next, you want to create your email templates. So you will have email templates for your booking confirmation, appointment reminders, sending an invoice, an overdue invoice template, maybe a holiday reminder. So maybe you want to create a template to let all of your clients know when you're going on holiday. You'll also want to create a welcome email, which will have links to all of the forms that we mentioned previously. There can be various email templates that you want to create for your practice. So you want to set those all up, and you want to make sure that you test all of those as well to make sure any links work. And if you want to use the SMS feature, so maybe you work with children or teenagers and you want to be able to text them a reminder, you'll also want to set up the text reminder template as well. Next, you'll want to set up the reminder configuration. So again, another reason I love Power Diary is that you can set up a system-wide reminder. So maybe you want to have one booking confirmation that you send all of your clients, and you also want to say that for all of your clients, you are going to send an appointment reminder one day before their appointment. And maybe the majority of clients you see online. So you're going to want to send them the online appointment reminder. But for some of your clients, you do see them face to face. So you can override the system on the client profile and choose the face to face appointment reminder template. And you add that to that client profile. And instead of Jane Doe getting the online appointment reminder as per the system, they will get the face-to-face appointment reminder because you have overridden the system in their client profile. So you want to make sure all of your reminders are set up. And like I said, I would have one kind of system-wide one, which is the main one you use. And then you can override that on the client profile with anybody that needs a different kind of reminder template. Once you have done all of that, Power Diary will probably have created all the client profiles for you. So then you can go through all of the client profiles, make sure the information is correct, and also add on any additional information. So you want to add on any contacts that they might have. This can include emergency contacts. It can include any contacts that they have release of information for. You can also decide if certain people will get appointment reminders with your client. So maybe you work with children or teenagers or couples and you want somebody else to receive an appointment reminder for your client, so you can create that too. You also want to make sure that the right appointment type is added to your client profile so that when you book a session for your client, automatically it knows what kind of session they have, how much they're going to be charged, and things like that. You can also add discounts on. So let's say Jane Doe is having a face-to-face 50-minute psychotherapy session, but she pays £20 less than your standard fee. You can add that discount onto her client profile. So again, when she books, she will automatically get an invoice for £20 less than your standard fee. You might also want to upload any previous paperwork they have signed or completed, like those release of informations or healthcare information. You might want to upload any previous client notes that you have, so you can do all of that once the client profiles are set up by Power Diary. You also want to set up any other type of profiles you might need. So you can set up profiles for referrers, you can set up profiles for third parties like insurers. So you want to make sure all of those kind of profiles are created too, so that you can attach them to your client profiles. We're nearly at the end, I promise. Next, you want to sync any outside apps. So you want to make sure that your Google Calendar, or now you can sync your Outlook calendar with Power Diary, so that once an appointment is created, it updates your calendar automatically. You also want to think about whether you want to sync Stripe so that you can accept online payments from your clients. You don't have to do this. You can just send them an invoice and ask for a backs payment. But if you're using an EHR, I would really recommend looking into Stripe. There is additional fees, of course, but I do think overall it will probably end up saving you a lot of time and therefore money in the long run. So once you've tested everything, and like test as you go constantly, but once you've tested everything, you want to schedule all of your appointments that you know about. So choose a date when you are going to start using the system. So the first of a month or a new week is usually a good idea. And then you want to let your clients know that you're using the new system and what they're going to see and what they're going to get and when. So for example, you want to tell them they'll get a booking confirmation, and maybe you book in their session during their current session, you book in their next session. So they'll get a booking confirmation straight away. They'll get a reminder one day before or something like that. And they'll get sent an invoice from the system as well. You can also tell them that if they don't pay in time, they will also get an automated overdue reminder, which is sent, 48 hours after their appointment, something like that. So you can let them know, schedule all of their appointments, know that you've tested everything, and then go live with the system once you have scheduled the appointments. And finally, if you want to allow your clients to book appointments, reschedule appointments, if you want to open it up so that potential clients can book in a discovery call with you, you want to set up the client portal. You don't have to set up the client portal to be able to take online payments or anything like that. So it is something that you should only set up if you really want clients to be able to access viewing their appointments, changing their appointments, or being able to book a discovery call. I'll probably do a whole video on the client portal actually to show you how it looks and what it should be set up for. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Okay, that was a fully comprehensive Power Diary setup video. So this is really going to be helpful if you are looking to set up Power Diary in the near future. Just to remind you, I have free resources available for you to help with this. So I have that Power Diary workbook, which will get all of the information out of your head onto paper so that you can easily do the Power Diary setup. It also does have a checklist, which basically runs through all of these things I've just mentioned. I also have the master client list, which is really going to help you again with regards to sending something to Power Diary so they can set up all of your client profiles and giving them all of the right information. And if you would like a step-by-step video tutorial of how to do a Power Diary setup, I do have a step-by-step setup course that also comes with lots of templates for you, and it also has a SOP doc, so it has videos and written processes of how you can use the system ongoing. So it doesn't just help you with the setup, it helps you use Power Diary day to day with all of the SOPs that you may have for your practice. So if you would like that, I'm going to leave a link in the description for that too. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out and help me keep creating these free videos for you. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.